Hey everyone, this is Mickie Giacomini with Great Talks, and today I'm so excited to have our guest on. I've got Clifton Barnes, and he is the video productions guru, and he's going to help share today a little bit more about how homeowners may preserve their memories, and really, especially, why is that so important? So let's go ahead and welcome him on. Hey Clifton, how are you?
Not too bad. Thank you very much for having me.
I am so excited to finally have you on an episode. You know, this is near and dear to my heart. And we met many years ago. And I've just always been intrigued by what you're able to do to help preserve homeowners' memories. So let's dive into that. Why is it so important to preserve memories?
It's very important. Most people, it's funny because most people don't think about it until it's too late. I always equate it to estate plans. People don't think about estate plans until it's too late, per se. So it's the same
Mhm.
thing with memories. You really don't think about it until, let's say, that one person is looking at a photo book on the desk, which it's been there
Sure.
maybe for years and you just never sat down and looked at it, or maybe they haven't looked at it and it brings back that nostalgic feeling. So that's why it really
Mhm.
is important.
I kind of liken it to history, personal history.
And that's the
So,
thing, when I was growing up, I didn't really like history per se and I'll tell you why. The reason is it didn't really pertain to me as much, the
right.
world history, I mean, it
Sure.
didn't, why does it matter? But when it comes to, say, a picture of my grandfather, a great grandfather, grandmother, or an aunt, or that's history that's, you could say, quote unquote, near and dear to my heart. So when it matters to you, that's when you really get concerned about it, or it matters
Sure.
more than, say, this, I don't know, far off land. I use quotes
Right?
again, you know what
Oh,
I
I,
mean?
I
So
know, but you're so spot on with that because I think it's that lack of connection. But like you said, when you can connect with it, when it pertains to you, it matters to you, right? You're more apt to learn more about it. And so you might even extend into additional history because you're learning about those ancestors and or maybe not quite ancestors, but when people were much younger.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
wait a minute. I don't know if I want my children to know what I was like when I was younger.
I mean, that's true. Everybody has a past, they always say. Everybody's got a past.
Past.
Yeah, yeah,
We're really into the air quotes today.
yeah.
That's okay. Oh my goodness. So why would somebody I mean they want to preserve it, but why are some other reasons people might want to preserve memories or whatnot?
When I was younger, I was always the question always comes up, where did I come from, or why am
Mm,
I here? One of those questions when you're younger. And when you or why am I like this? Why am I this way? One of the
right?
things that, if like I said, if you are blessed to have, say, your grandparents around, or even your parents, if you're, and I use the word blessed to have, you may
Yes.
see some characteristics from them that you have, or
Mhm.
maybe some traits. Oh, my eyes are this way because of my grandparents or parents, or, and I
Yep.
use that because, what better way if you have video of them, maybe when you
Right?
saw when they were younger, or
Mhm.
maybe a great grandparent. And again, I'm talking about the history. So
Oh,
it's
sure.
very important. And I was talking with a friend also about this as well. You don't really care about this when you're a teenager. You might start caring when you're in your 20s, but
Mhm.
when you're in your 30s, you finally start realizing you're getting older. So then you may start caring. And what I always try to do, I make sure that I spread the word that the history is important. So it doesn't matter what age you are, it is important. And you may not realize it until it's, quote unquote too late, again with the air quotes. But
Mhm.
my goal in life and my desire is to make sure that everybody believes and feels how important their history is, and then they're able to
Mhm.
pass that on to their future
Oh,
generations.
yeah,
So that's what
absolutely.
my goal is.
You know, you triggered something just now for me, a memory, if you will. You were mentioning how teenagers not necessarily get into that thing, and I think you are so correct. And I was really fortunate in high school. I had a history teacher. It's all coming back to me right now. And he required us one year to go back, and we had to do interviews with people from, okay, this is how old I am, but I'm not this old, but I had to find somebody who lived in the 20s. I'm talking
Mhm.
100 years ago.
Ah,
And also then somebody from the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, I believe. So, back, I'm a few years old, right? So it was a struggle, but I found people to interview, and that really opened my mind, and it helped me to become more interested in history as a whole because of meeting these people and talking to them. And some of them I did not know, and some of them were my relatives. And it was amazing to hear the stories that connected real world events with their views and how what happened to them when they were living through things. So I see your point. Now that we're talking about it, it's just kind of unfolding right now. And yeah, it really is important, isn't it?
very important,
Yeah,
extremely important.
I think I kind of have some goosebumps going on right now.
Yeah,
So
and
how do
that's what.
you, well, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that's that nostalgic feeling, and
Yes.
that's what I love providing is that nostalgic feeling. And like I said, you don't think about it until it's there in front of you.
So how do you go about doing that?
So the main way that I would say that we do it is by transferring. They call it VHS to DVDs. That was
Mhm.
the hip way of thinking about it. VHS to DVDs. I'd call it analog to digital. So we
Yeah.
can transfer those VHS tapes, cassette tapes. Those small cameras had the high 8 tape or mini DVs. Basically, some people may be cleaning up around the house, or maybe they're
Sure.
moving, and then they find these stacks of tapes that nobody can play because nobody has VCRs anymore, or
Mhm.
the camera that they have, they don't have that particular camera anymore and they can't watch it. What we can
Right.
do, we can transfer those medias, this analog media, to a digital format. So usually we can transfer it to a USB drive or flash drive, or a private online link. And some people still ask for those DVDs, so we can
Yeah.
transfer them to those three mediums.
I think that's so valuable. I know I've probably got a bunch of VHS tapes or those old camcorder tapes somewhere. I don't even know. But I'll tell you what, I do find this all the time with clients. I will go over, we're getting ready to list their homes, and I'm doing a walkthrough, and then we're out in it's almost always the garage,
Yep.
and I'll be like, "Oh, what is this? These boxes,
Hmm.
and boxes, and oh, those are old VHS tapes. Those are all home movies." So I'm like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh," And sometimes we've gotten into conversations, some of these different clients. It's like, "When was the last time you watched those?" "Oh, I couldn't even tell you when. I can't watch them anymore." And that's so sad because so much is being housed on that, media that can't be accessed anymore. So I think what you do is so valuable. It's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
What kind of media can people bring to you to have transferred?
Oh yeah, so like I was saying, if it's a video, it can be transferred. So I mentioned the VHS tapes. So one of the unique things as well. So I'll mention there's slides. They have the slides that you will put on projectors. We can
Yeah, the
scan
chip.
those. We can scan the yeah, I'm telling you that, and people don't think that it can be, again, it's analog media. They don't think they can be saved, but those slides, if you have a pictures, just still pictures, we can scan those as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
see those
so
still
slides and
pictures.
still photo. Oh,
Yeah. Yes.
wow.
So we can
Okay.
scan those. Cassette tapes is a good one because, again, nobody has a boombox anymore. But yeah, the cassette tapes, we can transfer those as well. So yeah, any analog media, and that's why I specifically say the analog media, we can put it to a digital format. Anything that has tape, we can transfer
Wow.
it to a digital
That's
format.
incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, what about those old, like what were they? They were on reels. Those
Yes.
film we used to
So,
call those films. I
mhm,
don't know if they're
mhm.
still called films anymore.
Officially, they're called 8 millimeter reels.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
So
there you go.
yes, we can transfer those as well. Yes.
Wow, that's incredible. Because sometimes people do uncover that. They'll find out that maybe their parents have inherited a bunch of these old tapes and so
Yep.
forth. And then, these are like 100 years old. And what do you do with them now? I think they could probably be about that old.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean,
At
that's
this point,
amazing to be able to see that now. What's going on then? How cool is that?
yeah,
Ah!
it's pretty
Well,
crazy.
it is. I'm so glad that you were able to come on today and share a little bit about this. And I know that people are going to be interested in finding out more. So if you're watching this, please reach out to us with your questions, comments, put them in the comments, reach out to me, reach out to Clifton. We will get you in contact. If you're reaching out to me, I'll get you in contact as well. But I know that we're going to have you back on to talk about all these other different kinds of video productions that you do too. You want to give everybody a little teaser on some of the other things that your company does?
Yeah. Okay. We do. Uh, Again, I'm a second generation videographer. My father started the company in 1985, and speaking of, we believe in preserving history. So we do events like your weddings, graduations, and even memorials. We can live stream those events as well.
Nice. Very cool. Well, let's definitely have you back on, have you chat about that and share
Yeah.
more. So thank you so much for being here today. And thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time on Great Talks.